All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right. So, if audio and video are clear to all of you, so let's start with the today's session. And if we can recall back, yesterday we did three basics of the ECG. That is the electrophysiology of conduction system and how it is translated into the ECG waveforms. Second basic was the ECG paper which we have done, and the third basic was the most important basic, that is the principle of the ECG, how the movement of the charges or the ions leads to the deflection of the ECG needle. So now we come to the basic number 4, and basic number 4. So who are not able to see the audio and video, they can refresh their application, or maybe they can pause and restart the application. Now coming to the basic number 4. So this basic number 4, basic number 4 of the ECG. So before writing it down, let's see and visualize the heart and visualize the electrical activity of the heart. So electrical activity of the heart, our heart is a three-dimensional structure. Our heart is a three-dimensional structure. So the current flow in various planes. So you can just visualize this image. This is a frontal plane. Frontal plane means the current or the ions are moving from superior to inferior direction, or maybe from right to left or left to right they are moving. So this is a frontal plane of the heart. And second is a horizontal plane of the heart. Horizontal plane means from the endocardium to the epicardium. So there are two planes in which the current will be traveling, the ions will be traveling to produce a sort of a current, So is it okay now to all the centers? All right, fine. So we come to the basic number 4, and basic number 4 is the placement of the ECG leads. And before writing, you should visualize the heart in a three-dimensional 3D. So the current of the heart will travel in various planes. So you can see the diagram, look at the diagram, visualize the diagram. That current can flow from superior to inferior direction. So this is known as a frontal plane. So there will be a movement of ions which will be traveling in this direction. This is a frontal plane. And second plane will be a horizontal plane. The current will be traveling from the endocardial side to the epicardial side, like this. So this is the, say, endocardial side, and this is the epicardial side. So current is traveling from endo to epicardial. So this is a horizontal plane. So what we need to pick this current. We need to pick this movement of the ions. So if we have to pick the horizontal current, which is endocardium to epicardium. So what we need to do, we need to place the electrodes on the chest wall. So they will be best to pick the horizontal current. So horizontal current, that is a horizontal plane current, will be detected by the chest leads or the electrode which will put on the chest wall, while the frontal plane current will be detected by the electrodes which will be placed on our limbs. So this is just a diagram to help you understand how the current is traveling in the heart. So starting with the basic number 4, and basic number 4 is the placement of the ECG leads. So this is our basic number 4, placement of the ECG leads. That means, now this you can write it down, to detect so in the diagram we have understood the current is traveling in various planes. So to detect the vertical electric activity of the heart, to detect the vertical electrical activity of the heart which is coming from superior to the inferior direction, so we will use limb leads. We will use the limb leads, so that will make it a vertical plane or a frontal plane. So this is known as a vertical plane or a frontal plane. Now to detect the horizontal electrical activity, like from endocardium to epicardium, the current, we will use the chest leads. So this is the basic number 4, and basic number 4 is the placement of the ECG lead. Now you can recall back yesterday's basic number 3. Now apply that galvanometer into the placement of the ECG leads. So this is the first section we have just started, the basic number 4, placement of the ECG leads. So for vertical electrical activity, we will use the limbs to make the galvanometer. And according to the nomenclature, these limb leads are further classified into two groups. One is known as the bipolar lead system. Bipolar leads. Second, it will be unipolar leads. So this is just the nomenclature, bipolar leads and unipolar leads. So the bipolar leads are given the Roman numericals, and these are lead 1, lead 2 and lead 3. So these are the three leads, that is a bipolar leads, given the Roman numericals 1, 2 and 3. While the unipolar leads are represented by letter V. So unipolar leads are 3, V, V and V. So we'll make the diagram of these leads, how these lead systems are made, so that we'll draw a diagram. Just here we write the names of these leads. So unipolar lead, they are represented by letter V. So 3 unipolar limb leads are there, and this will be given the name as R, L, F. So these are given the names ki where their exploring electrode is kept, where their exploring electrode is kept. So unipolar leads we represent by letter V, and depending on the exploring lead placement on which limb it is put, so it is right upper limb, left upper limb and the foot part. So these are the nomenclatures. Now what happens, these leads they detect very small current. They detect very small current because of their placements. So as a result, these leads needs augmentation. That means कि needle will deflect very less because they detect very less current. So what a machine do? Machine augment that voltage automatically. So they need augmentation. So A word is written before these unipolar leads. So we write the letter A before these leads. Three leads: AVR, AVL, and AVF. Now indeed this question have come in your all India exams, and they ask the question ki what does this A word stand for in the unipolar limb leads. A stand for augmentation. A stands for the augmentation because they detect very small current, they are far off from the heart, so the machine augment that voltage automatically. So these are the three lead system, unipolar system. Now horizontal electrical activity, we place the electrode on the chest wall, and these are also unipolar leads. Unipolar leads. So these unipolar leads are directly over the heart. So they will not need any augmentation because they are directly over the heart. They detect a large current. So no augmentation needed here. So the name of these unipolar leads are V1 to V6. So no augmentation needed because they are directly over the heart, and they will detect a good amount of electrical current. So no augmentation is needed. Now coming to, so this we have just started. This is the first part of today's lecture, and this is the basic number 4, and basic number 4 is the placement of the ECG leads. Hopefully now it is working fine, no problem here. All right, so this is the 3 dimension of our heart. Heart electrical activity is moving superior to inferior from the SA node to downward. This makes just visualize, no need to write this diagram. So no need to write this diagram. So the electrical activity is moving from superior to the inferior direction, from the SA node to the apex of the heart. In this direction, this is known as a frontal plane or a vertical plane. Now second is the current also move from endo to epicardium, as you can see here, endo to the epicardium. So this will travel in a horizontal plane. So one plane is a vertical plane, second plane is a horizontal plane. So these two planes electrical activity we want to detect. And how will we detect? From our basic number 3, which we have done earlier. So we will place galvanometer, we will make the connections so that we can detect this flow of current. Now coming to, so this was the diagram, just to let you understand how the electrical current travel in our heart. Heart is a three-dimensional structure. Then this is just the nomenclature. I have not explained you anything. I have just given you the nomenclature, and nomenclature is placement of the ECG leads. Placement of the ECG leads, and here very well you can see what to detect the vertical electrical activity. Vertical electrical activity is from SNO to the apex, like this. This is a vertical plane. We will use limbs. That will be a vertical plane. And in the limbs, we have two lead systems. One is known as the bipolar leads. So this is just the nomenclature. Bipolar leads, nomenclature. They are given Roman numericals, and Roman numericals are 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3 are the Roman numericals. This is known as the bipolar leads. While second system is unipolar leads. Unipolar leads, and this is a misnomer. Unipolar, but it is being used as a standard terminology. Unipolar leads. So unipolar is represented by letter V. Unipolar lead is represented by letter V. So we use V word here. Three unipolar leads are there, and depending upon which limb exploring electrode is put, they are given the different names. R, L, F. R is right upper limb, that we will draw the diagram. R is right upper limb, L is left upper limb, and F is left lower leg, left foot will be used. And because they are far away from the heart, so they detect very small current, hence they need augmentation. So they detect very small current, they deflect very less. Therefore, machine automatically augment that fluctuation. So there is a augmentation by the machine so that we can see the waveforms easily. So A word is put before these unipolar leads. A letter is put. And that A stands for augmented leads. Augmentation. How to augment? Augment is machine automatically. If it detects 2 mm deflection, it makes it say 3 mm or 4 mm. So it is done by the machine. It augment automatically by the machine. Now come to R stand for right upper limb, F stand for left lower leg, and L stand for left upper limb. So this is the limb leads. While horizontal electrical activity, which is endo to the epicardium, we place the galvanometer electrode on the chest. They are also unipolar leads. So we will use the word V1 to V6. No augmentation is needed because they are directly over the heart. They detect a large current. They detect a large activity. So no augmentation is needed for this unipolar leads. Now coming to the placement of these leads. Now come to the placement. So placement is starting with bipolar limb leads. Bipolar limb leads. So bipolar limb leads basically they detect electric difference between two limbs. They detect so they detect electrical difference between two limbs. So this is the bipolar limb lead system in which one limb connected to positive pole. One limb is connected to the positive pole of the galvanometer. This limb is known as the exploring electrode, or also known as, this is the exploring electrode, the limb from where the wire is going to the positive pole. This is the exploring electrode, and the name of the lead is written on that limb. Name of the lead is written on that limb. Now the second limb, which is connected to negative pole. Second limb is connected to the negative pole of the galvanometer. So bipolar basically detect the electrical difference between two limbs, in which one limb will be connected to the positive pole, the other limb will be connected to the negative pole, and the limb which is connected to the negative pole is known as the reference electrode. It is known as the reference electrode. So let's see, with the help of the diagram we will try to understand this. Starting with the lead 1. So this you can write it down in your notes. Now come to the diagram. So the diagram we will make in the form of a table form. Lead 1. So let's understand lead 1, how it is made, what is the location of this lead, and what are the reference electrode and what are the exploring electrode limbs. So we will make the diagram of lead 1. So we'll make a vertical plane of the heart. So this is the vertical plane of the heart. So I have made a vertical plane in which the depolarization is taking from the SA node downward. So only the vertical plane. So we'll see the vertical plane. So this is the diagram. Here is SA node. Somewhere here is the SA node. And this will be going in this direction. So this is a normal depolarization direction in the vertical plane. Normal depolarization direction in a vertical plane. The red colored arrows from the SA node, the depolarization is going downward. It is a movement of the positive ions, or it is a movement of the positive charge from SA node towards the apex. Now coming to the limbs. So the limb placement will be, here is right upper limb, here is left upper limb, and here is left lower leg. This you can make. So heart is in the center, and we have three limbs, right upper limb, left upper limb, and left lower leg. Right lower leg we do not use to make the combination. It is connected to earth, or you can say it is a neutral one. So only three limbs are used for making the connections. So this is the galvanometer here. Positive pole, negative pole. All right. So hopefully this diagram you have made. Okay, fine. So restarting. First is lead 2. Lead 2 is basically a bipolar lead, and it detects the electrical difference between any two limbs. And all these are standardization, which limb we are putting into the negative pole and which limb we are putting into the positive pole. These are all standardizations. So heart vertical activity, we can see it originate from the SA node and travel obliquely towards the apex, towards the apical part of the heart. So now what we'll do, we'll take the right upper limb like this. From the right upper limb we will take a wire, and this wire is connected into, so this is a lead 1 galvanometer. Hopefully you can remember from the previous class of basic 3. So this is the galvanometer of lead 1. From right upper limb we'll take a wire, and this wire will be connected into the negative pole of the galvanometer. This galvanometer is lead 1. And from the left upper limb we will take the wire, and this wire will be connected into positive pole like this. So this is how the connection of lead 1 will be made. From right upper limb the wire go to the negative pole. From left upper limb the wire will be going to the positive pole. So this is the connection of lead 1. This is a connection of the lead 1. And now if we will see what is the vector line, of the lead 1. This is the vector line of lead 1. Vector line of the lead 1. Why not opposite? As I have told you, these are all standardizations. And why these standardizations are done? Reason is, listen to the reason very carefully. Everyone wants to see a positive result. And from the anatomy we know that the depolarization of the heart, that is a positive ions or movement, are going towards the left side or towards the lower side. So scientists kept the exploring electrode mainly on the left side or on the left lower leg. So they kept the exploring electrode mainly on the left side, because we know the net movement of the positive ions are towards the left side. So we'll see mainly a positive fluctuation. So this is the standard fundamental why majority of the exploring electrodes are kept on the left side. So you can see clearly that this green line is the vector line of the lead 1. This is a vector line of the lead 1. Now what does this vector line of lead 1 represent? Vector line of lead 1 represent that the tail is towards the reference electrode and arrowhead is towards the exploring electrode. This is a lead 1. And this will be name of the lead 1 will be put on left upper lip. So here is lead 1. So wherever is the exploring electrode, we call this as the name of the lead, name of the lead. So we'll write the name of lead 1 on the left upper limb. So this is the location of the imaginary line, that is a vector line of lead 1. Tail is towards the exploring electrode, sorry, reference electrode, and arrowhead is towards the exploring electrode. So what does this mean? This means if the ions are moving horizontally along this line, the lead 1 should have shown a maximum deflection if positive ions are moving along this line, but this is not happening. The positive ions are moving oblique to this line. The natural direction of the depolarization is oblique to this line, oblique to this line. So this is the vector line of lead 1. Depolarization is oblique to this line. Now my question to you, if we will see in lead 1, so tell me, in lead 1, all of you have done the basic. Atrial depolarization is represented by P wave. Ventricle depolarization is represented by QRS complex. QRS complex. Okay, I will repeat it once again. The heart is in the center. Heart is in the center. This is a right upper limb. This is left upper limb, and this is left lower leg. This is left lower leg. So what we'll do, because we know the normal depolarization, net direction of the normal depolarization is towards the left side. So left side, majority of the lead system, the exploring electrode will be towards the left side, so that we'll see a positive deflections. So here what we do, from the left upper limb, wire will go to the positive pole. From right upper limb, wire will be connected to the negative pole, and this will be the vector line of lead 1. Vector line of the lead 1 is a green line. Tail is towards the reference electrode. Arrowhead is towards the exploring electrode. So this vector line, what does this line represent? This line represent, if positive ions are moving along this line, we will get a maximum positive deflection. But which does not occur, because the natural direction of the depolarization, natural direction of the positive ion is oblique to this line. Therefore, in lead 1, if we'll see the P wave, so now all of you link with the previous class, basic number 3. Here the depolarization or the positive ion movement is not along the line, it is oblique to the line. So the P wave will be less positive. Less positive, because it is oblique to the line. Similarly, if in lead 1 we want to see the QRS, again QRS complex will be positive but less positive. It will be less positive because of the placement of the lead 1 and the direction of the current, net direction of the depolarization current. Very good. Now come to the second important fundamental of this vector line. Second important fundamental, that is the location in a imaginary axis. So remember, lead 1 is located at this is a imaginary axis. Lead 1 is located at 0 degree axis. Zero degree axis. even mathematically, if we take this line and this angle, we will take it, it is located at a 0 degree axis, 0 degree axis. Now coming to the lead 2. So come to the lead 2. Hopefully lead 1 is clear to all of you, how the lead 1 is made. What is the manifestation of P wave and QRS in lead 1, and what is the location of the lead 1 in a imaginary axis. So this is located at a 0 degree axis, 0 degree axis. So this lead is lead 1. Now come to the lead 2. Lead 2. So lead 2, it is the same diagram we will make, a separate diagram we will make for lead 2. This is a vertical position of the heart. This is a vertical position of the heart. So here SA node is somewhere here. This is a normal direction of depolarization. Remember, the normal direction of the depolarization is in this direction. This is going downward in a vertical plane, and it is going net direction is towards the left side, towards the left side. Now this is right upper limb. This is left upper limb, and this is left lower leg. Heart is in the center. Right upper limb, left upper limb, and left lower leg. So now to make the lead 2, this is the galvanometer. This is a galvanometer. So what we'll do here in lead 2, we take a wire from the right upper limb and connect it into a negative pole. Connect it into a negative pole. So right upper limb become the reference electrode for lead 2. Reference electrode for lead 2. And from the left lower leg, we will take another wire and we will connect that wire into the positive pole. Like this. So this becomes the lead 2. Right upper limb going into the negative pole, left lower leg, wire will take and connect to the positive pole. And what is the vector direction of this lead 2? Basic principle, tail is towards the reference electrode and arrowhead is towards the exploring electrode. So this will be the vector line of lead 2. Vector line of lead 2, green colored you can see. And I will write the vector line of lead 2 here. Lead 2, left lower leg, left lower leg. So if you can see, this is the vector line of lead 2 and the current or the ions are moving almost along this line. This is a natural line of the movement of the depolarization ions. So that means if I have to say in lead 2, what will be the P wave? Remember, P wave will be maximum positive. QRS, maximum positive. Yes, it will show a maximum deflection. It is the parallel and it is along the line of a normal direction. Therefore, best lead to study, best limb lead to study P wave or QRS is lead 2. This is the best lead to study the P wave or the rhythm of the heart, or the QRS complex is the lead 2. Now the lead 2 location, the imaginary location of lead 2 in terms of degree axis. So we always take from lead 1 ki where are the other lead vector direction is there. So I will take the lead 1 first. So look at the broken arrows. Look at the broken arrow. Broken arrow is the lead 1. This was the lead 1, and lead 1 was located at 0 degree axis. 0 degree axis. So from lead 1, the direction or the degree of lead 2 is this direction. So look at the direction. This is the angle which lead 2 is making with lead 1. So this is a 60 degree angle. So this is a 60 degree angle. That means lead 2 located at plus 60 degree axis. Plus 60 degree axis. So this lead 2 is located in relation to lead 1 at 60 degree angle. And why we have taken it as plus? Why arrowhead? Arrowhead is plus. Reason is why we are taking the plus, because depolarization is taking place in a downward direction. And what is the depolarization? Depolarization is movement of positive charge. Depolarization is going downward. It is a movement of positive charge. So downward angle we take as plus in physiology, in ECG, in the ECG, because depolarization is a movement of positive ions. Now coming to the lead 3 system. So come to the lead 3. So we'll understand the concept with the help of diagrams and visualizing those diagrams. First will be the step in understanding this is the vertical position of the heart and the normal depolarization direction. Normal depolarization direction. So here is the vertical position of the heart. This is SA node. This is SA node, and this is a normal depolarization direction. This is a normal depolarization direction which is going from SA node downward. SA node downward. Now the limbs. So hopefully you have made this diagram of lead 3. Lead 3. So here is right upper limb, left upper limb, left lower leg. Left lower leg. So these are the limb placement. Now to make the galvanometer of lead 3, this is the galvanometer of the lead 3 plus minus needle. Galvanometer. Now to make lead 3, we take a wire from left upper limb, and this will go into the negative pole. So left upper limb will become the reference electrode for lead 3. it becomes the reference electrode for lead 3, and from left lower leg will take the wire and connect to positive pole. So this is the connection of lead 3, and the vector line of lead 3 will be like this. Will be like this. So this is the direction of the lead 3. This is the direction of the lead 3. The principle is the tail is towards the reference electrode and arrowhead is towards the exploring electrode. That is the simple basic principle of this vector line of the any limb leads. Now in the lead 2, if we look at what will be the P wave like and what will be the QRS complex. So remember, the depolarization is normal depolarization, direction is oblique to lead 3 vector. It is oblique to the lead 3 vector, oblique, and hence in lead 3 P wave is less positive and QRS less positive. It is less positive. So they will be less positive in lead 3. Now let's look at what will be the angle of lead 3 in relation to lead 1. Lead 1 was at 0 degree. Lead 1 was at 0 degree. So we'll take the angle from there. So here was the lead 1 location. This was the lead 1 location. This was at 0 degree. So in relation to that 0 degree, the lead 3 is at this angle is plus 120 degree. It is at plus 120 degree. So lead 3 located at plus 120 degree axis. No, it is not perpendicular, because if you can understand slightly mathematics, the red ones, the depolarization is at 60 degree angle. It is at 60 degree angle, and lead 3 is at 120 degree angle. So it is not perpendicular, it is oblique. It is oblique because depolarization is almost at 60 degree and lead 3 is at 120 degree. So it is not perpendicular. Now, if I will take all 3 bipolar leads in a single diagram and will make a single diagram of all the bipolar lead. So this is the lead 1. This is lead 2. And this is lead 3. This is a triangle that we will get. These are the vector lines. Now again repeating for you, those who have joined late, what is the meaning of a vector line of any galvanometer or any lead? Vector line means if the current is traveling along that vector line, it will show maximum deflection. Vector line tail is on the reference electrode, arrowhead is on the exploring electrode. That is the meaning of a vector line. And this triangle is known by the name of Einthoven's triangle, the scientist who invented the ECG. So this is known as Einthoven's triangle. Einthoven's triangle. Why plus angle? Because the depolarization is going in a downward direction. And what is a depolarization current? A depolarization, it is a movement of positive ions. It is a movement of positive charge. So positive charge is going downward. So anything below that 0 degree will be considered as positive because depolarization is downward. So we take it as positive angle. Why not the right lower limb? Because as I told you, the maximum depolarization current is towards the left side and everyone wants to see a positive deflection. So therefore the maximum exploring electrode are placed on the left side. So we see a positive waves. Now coming to the unipolar limb leads. Unipolar limb lead system. So for unipolar limb lead system, it is a slightly complicated one. So let's look at the unipolar limb leads. So just like bipolar limb leads, we have made the definition first initially. Now the definition of a unipolar limb leads. P wave and QRS in lead 1 is less positive. It is less positive. Now coming to the unipolar limb leads. First is the definition. It detects electric difference unipolar limb leads detects electrical difference between one limb and combination of two other limbs. So it is not 1:1. It detects the electrical difference between one limb and the some combination of two other limbs. So the one limb is connected into positive pole and that limb will be known as the exploring electrode, or the name of the lead will be placed on that limb. So this is the exploring electrode. While the some combination of two other limbs will be connected into a negative pole. This is known as the reference electrode. This is known as the reference electrode. Some combination. So it is one limb versus two other limbs, which is taken. And this is also as a standardization that we make this ECG unipolar limb leads. Now with the help of the diagram, we'll understand this unipolar limb leads and their nomenclature once again we will discuss. So the first one I will take it as AVR. So AVR is the first unipolar lead. Now coming to what is the importance of the Einthoven's triangle. Importance of the Einthoven's triangle is the sum of all these three vectors comes out to be 0. Sum of all these three vectors will come out to be 0. That is the importance. Now AVR, AVR, this is the heart. This is a vertical position of the heart, vertical position of the heart. And let me first draw the normal depolarization direction. Normal depolarization direction is from SA node to the downward direction. And here is right upper limb, left upper limb, left lower leg. So these are the three limbs. Again repeating, right lower leg is not used for making combination. It goes to the neutral side. So here is the galvanometer of AVR. This is plus, this is minus. Yes, Anjum, 1 plus 3 is equal to 2. Now you sum all these three, you will get the answer 0. So answer you have given itself. This equation 1 plus 3 is equal to 2. So you sum all these three, then you get the answer 0. Now right upper limb, from the right upper limb, it will be connected to positive pole. Yes, practically you see four clips, but inside that one wire there are multiple connections. There are multiple wires in that one wire that you are seeing from when you took any ECG from the patient, and there are four limbs which are attached. So the fourth limb, right lower leg, is a neutral one. It is a neutral one. Now coming to, so right upper limb will go to the positive pole, therefore the name is written as R. R is the exploring electrode. R is the exploring electrode, that is a right upper limb. Now we take the sum combination of two remaining limbs. So the two remaining limbs are left upper limb and left lower leg. Left lower leg. These are the two other remaining limbs. So what we do, listen carefully and understand the diagram carefully. Two limbs are there. So we'll take a wire from left upper limb. We take a wire from left lower leg. Join these two wires, and the common wire will go to negative pole. So very well you can see, right upper limb is going to the positive pole, and the sum combination of two remaining limbs is going into the negative pole. It is going into the negative pole. So that means, how will we make, so this is a combination of AVR, how will we make the vector of AVR? So listen carefully, the basic principle of any vector. Arrowhead is towards the exploring electrode, so no doubt arrowhead will be towards the right upper limb, but where will be the tail? Where will be the tail? So the tail will be perpendicular to the line joining left upper limb and left lower leg. Left lower leg. So the AVR will be perpendicular to vector of AVR will be perpendicular to line joining left upper limb and left lower leg. This will be the vector of AVR. AVR. So here we will draw the vector of AVR. Arrowhead towards the right upper limb because that is the exploring electrode. Tail will be perpendicular to the line joining left upper limb and left lower limb. This is a vector line, and where I will write AVR, I will write AVR here. AVR here. So this is the vector line of AVR. It is perpendicular to line joining left upper limb and left lower leg. So my question to you, normally P wave in AVR will be positive or negative? What will be the P wave? Yes. No, it will not be. Look at the vector line of AVR. The arrowhead is towards the right upper limb. Arrowhead, that is the exploring electrode, positive pole. And normal depolarization is going away from the positive pole. It is going away. So it will be less positive. Yeah, no, it will be negative. It will be negative. Similarly, normal QRS, and this question have come in your exam. Question was, in which limb lead P wave is normally negative? Answer is AVR. Similarly, QRS will also be negative. Yes, it will be less negative because this is not along the line. Now, the second conceptual question from my side, let me see who can give me the correct answer. Repeat this point. Remember, yesterday we did, if the positive charge is going away from the positive pole, the needle will deflect downward direction. Similarly, here the positive pole is right upper limb and the depolarization is going away from the right upper limb. So it will show a negative deflection. Now, the next conceptual question from my side to you is, lead AVR is perpendicular to which bipolar lead? AVR is perpendicular to which bipolar lead? According to the perpendicular to, yes, very good, it will be perpendicular to lead 3. Because that is the direction of lead 3, joining the left upper limb and left lower leg, that was lead 3. So AVR is perpendicular to bipolar lead 3. Very good. Now come to the lead AVL. So come to the lead AVL. So same principle, same step we will keep. That is, first I will make the diagram of the vertical plane of the heart. This is a vertical plane of the heart. Vertical plane of the heart, AVL. Here is normal depolarization direction. Normal depolarization direction. Here is right upper limb, left upper limb, left lower leg. three limbs in relation to the vertical position of the heart. And here I will make the galvanometer plus minus needle. So if there is a black screen, you can pause and restart again, so it will be fine. So now coming to the lead AVL combination. So here from the left upper limb, the wire will go to the positive pole. So left upper limb is the exploring electrode. Therefore, the word L is there. L is there. Left upper limb. Now, the remaining limbs will be combined, and that combination wire will go to the negative pole for making the reference electrode. So here is right upper limb. Here is left lower leg. This is a wire. This is a wire. And this combination will go to the negative pole. It will go to the negative pole. So this is a combination. Left upper limb wire will go to the positive pole. The sum combination of remaining limbs, right upper limb and left lower leg, will go to the negative pole. Now I will made the vector line of the AVL. So the arrowhead will be towards the left upper limb, and tail will be the perpendicular to right upper limb and left lower leg. So this will be the vector line of AVL. This is a vector line of AVL. So that means AVL is perpendicular to bipolar lead. So tell me, AVL is perpendicular to which bipolar lead? Yes, it will be lead 2. It will be perpendicular to lead 2. You can see it is perpendicular to the line joining the right upper limb and left lower leg, and that line is known as the lead 2. Second conceptual question to you. Second conceptual question is, in AVL, tell me, P wave will be what? P wave will be positive, negative, or net zero. What will be the P wave? It will be perpendicular to lead 2, so it will show a net zero deflection. So net zero. Yes, the net, it will be a net zero because the current is moving almost perpendicular to lead AVL. It is perpendicular to the current, and QRS. Again, net will be zero, almost zero. And I will come to that question, ki what is the clinical implication of these lead placement? That I will come when I combine all these leads. Actually, these leads are used for the detecting what is the wall of the myocardial infarction, what is the site of the pathology. So these leads will be used there. Now, finally, the unipolar lead AVF. So we will come to the AVF. So this is the diagram of AVF. Why it is 0? It is 0 because the vector of AVL is almost perpendicular to normal depolarization direction. Yesterday we did that basic. If the charge is moving perpendicular to the vector of the galvanometer, it shows a net zero deflection. Now coming to the depolarization current is this, and here is right upper limb, here is left upper limb, here is left lower leg. These are the leg placement in relation to the heart. Vertical position of the heart, the normal direction of the depolarization. So here what we will do, this is the galvanometer of AVF, plus minus. From left lower leg, we will take a wire, attach it to the positive pole. Right upper limb, left upper limb are the remaining limbs. So they will be, their combination will be used as a reference electrode. So we will take a wire, and that wire combined will go into the negative pole. So if someone asks you what is the exploring electrode of AVF, answer is left lower leg. So therefore it is the foot. F stands for the foot. So this is a left lower leg. Reference electrode, right upper limb plus left upper limb. Now come to the vector direction of AVF. So AVF will be perpendicular to the line joining right upper limb and left upper limb. So this is the vector line. AVF. So that means AVF is perpendicular to bipolar lead 1. The location is perpendicular to the bipolar lead 1, and hence AVF located at plus 90-degree axis. It is located at, yes, very nice. It is located at the plus 90-degree because it is perpendicular to lead 1. You can see the green colored arrow, it is perpendicular to the lead 1, AVF. And you can see the normal depolarization is coming towards the lead AVF, but not in the line but oblique. Therefore the P wave in AVF is less positive and QRS will be less positive. You can see the red color depolarization direction. So this is oblique to the line of AVF, so it will be less positive. Now with this, these are the limb leads. Now I will take your test and then I will give you some mathematical calculations also. So first let me take your test on this ECG lead placement. So let me see who can give me the correct answer fast. So carefully, this will be the diagram based question which can come in your exams. So this is the number one. So identify question number one. Which lead is this lead? Which lead is this lead? Yes, very good. SK Amrit, they given me the correct answer first. So question number one, you can see the positive pole is on the left lower leg and the reference electrode is on the right upper. So this is lead 2. This is lead 2. Very nice. Now, second one, question 2. Which lead is this lead? Which lead is this lead? Second question, yes, this is very nice. This is lead 1. You can see the positive pole is on the left upper limb and negative pole is on the right upper limb. Now tell me, which lead is this lead? Question 3. Lead. Identify the lead. Question 3. For question 3. Yes, it is lead 3. Positive pole left lower leg and the negative pole is on the left upper limb. Left upper limb. So now the question number 4. Question number 4. Which lead is this? Question 4. Now move to the question 4. Which lead is this? AVL. Yes, this is AVL. Now, question number 5. Lead. Which lead is question number 5? Your answers. Yes, this is AVF. Very nice. This is AVF. And finally, question 6. Lead. Question 6, last one. Visualize. These questions can come as a diagram based question. Diagram based question. So this is the lead AVR. This is a lead AVR. All right, very good. All of you have given me the correct answer. Now the mathematics. Apply the mathematics. Now some of you have asked what is the axis of AVR and what is the axis of AVL. These are the questions which you have asked. So the answer to this question will be, now understand carefully, AVL first. AVL. Come to this question. Axis of AVL. Carefully, look carefully. It is just mathematics, nothing else. AVL is perpendicular to lead 2. This we all know. AVL vector is perpendicular to lead 2. This we all know. So where exactly is the lead 2? Let me see. here lead 1 0 degree, here lead 2 plus 60 degree, plus 60 degree. So a very simple answer to this all of us know, and I have extended the line of lead 2. I have extended the line of lead 2. Now the AVL vector is perpendicular to lead 2. So this is perpendicular to lead 2 here. AVL. This is AVL. Now what will be the angle? Yes, it will be 30, remaining is 30 degree, but it is going above the line. So anything above the line physiologically we take it minus. We'll take it as minus. So this will be the angle of AVL in relation to lead 1, and this angle will be 30 degree angle. Very simple. This is 30 degree angle, minus 30 degree angle. So here I will write minus 30 because it is going above the 0 degree line. Above the 0 degree line. Very nice. Now the second question, what is the axis of AVR? So let's understand that also. The axis of the AVR. AVR is perpendicular to lead 3. It is perpendicular to lead 3. Then this is lead 1 0 degree. Lead 1 is 0 degree. Here is lead 3 plus 120 degree, and here is the extension. All right, this hopefully will be clear to all of you. And remember, lead 3 is say extension. This is 180 degree, one angle is 120, the other angle will be 60 degree. It will be 60 degree. And now the perpendicular to lead 3 is lead AVR. This angle will be 90 degree angle. So obviously if the angle from lead 1 to AVR, this angle will be minus 150 degree, because 60 plus 90 is 150, and it is going in a above direction. So it will be a total of minus 150 degree angle axis. Minus 150 degree axis. Now the second lead system is on the chest wall. It is on the chest wall, the next lead system, and that is very easy. So come to the chest leads. All right, so chest leads, they are placed on the chest wall, and they detect the horizontal current which is going from endo to the epicardium and vice versa, from epi to the endocardium. The horizontal plane will be detected by the chest leads. So the placement is very simple. Placement is, this is the sternum, right side left side. Now this is the ribs. Fourth intercostal space, fifth intercostal space. Fourth and fifth intercostal spaces are used to place the chest leads, and as I told you earlier also, the majority of the depolarization is towards the left side. So we keep the majority of the electrodes or exploring electrodes on the left side, because majority of depolarization is towards the left side. So this is as seen from the front. Two intercostal spaces will be taken, fourth and fifth intercostal space. The lead V1 is placed in the fourth intercostal space here, fourth intercostal space, while V2 is placed here. V2. V3 is between V2 and V4. V3 position. So that we will determine with three vertical lines. So first vertical line is this line. We'll draw the vertical lines. This is mid clavicular line. Then anterior axillary line, and then mid axillary line. Mid axillary line. So these are the three vertical lines that we will take. The V4 lead is placed in mid clavicular line, fifth intercostal space. Fifth intercostal space, you must have seen the technician putting those chest leads on the intercostal spaces. Now V3 is between V2 and V4, so it is somewhere here. Usually in the fifth intercostal space we place this between V2 and V4. V5 is here. V6 is here. So these are the placement of the chest leads, and it is very important, whichever side you are placing these leads, that will tell the pathology of underlying heart structure, underlying heart wall. For example, if there is the lateral wall, if you can see axilla, here is the lateral wall of the heart, lateral wall. If we want to see a lateral wall MI, I will use the leads which are placed in the axilla, and those leads will be V5 and V6. They are near to the lateral wall. And if I want to see the anterior wall MI, here I will use the leads like V2, V3, V4. These will be used. And if I want to see a right ventricle pathology, I will look into V1. So this is the importance of these ECG lead placement, clinical importance. Ki whatever side of the heart you want to see the pathology, focus on those leads only. So this will be the placement of the chest leads. Now the question is, from each part wire is differently going into the positive pole, but where is the negative pole connected from? This yesterday we did a transverse section of the heart of the ventricle and we made only a positive pole, but where is the negative coming from? So where is the reference of these chest leads? So remember, just I will take an example of V1. So this is the V1 galvanometer. So this is V1 galvanometer, negative, positive. Just for an example, V1 ECG leads. So V1 ECG lead is from chest lead, wire is coming to the positive pole, no doubt, but where is the negative coming from? So the negative is coming from the right upper limb, left upper limb, and left lower leg. From all these three limbs, we will take wire, connect them into a single wire, and that will make the reference electrode. So from all the three limbs, wire will come and get connected into the negative pole, and this reference electrode, this is the reference electrode for each chest lead. This is a reference electrode, and the sum of these limbs is almost zero, so it represents a true zero reference electrode, So this electrode is known as Wilson's central terminal. This is known as the Wilson's central terminal. The net electrical difference here is zero. Here it is the zero. So this is the same for each chest leads. Meaning of true zero, meaning of the true zero is the sum combination current of these three leads is equal to zero. In different electrode, the same, the exploring electrode is the position of the placement of those chest lead, that is the exploring electrode, and this is the reference electrode for each Wilson central terminal. It will go into the negative pole. So is it okay now? All right. So it is the reference electrode for each chest leads, that wire from each limb comes and it is connected into the negative pole. And this represent almost zero electrical activity, or net is zero of all the three limbs. So net will be zero of three limbs. Now the axis, this is a horizontal direction. We usually do not take the angle in a horizontal axis, we'll take the angle in a vertical axis, because it is very difficult to calculate the angle in a horizontal axis. Now this was the placement of the ECG leads in relation to the position of the heart. Now coming to the basic number, so we come to the next basic. So the next basic is the P wave. It is the P wave. Now we come to the different waves. So we'll discuss a normal P wave. A normal P wave. So the P wave, basic number 6, normal in lead 2. So lead 2 detects the vertical activity. So for vertical activity in lead 2, so the basic P wave, basic is the P wave for the vertical activity. So normally this is the dimension of the P wave. Here is the dimension. Width and height. Width and height. So width and height, basic number 5 we will discuss tomorrow. Basic number 5 we'll discuss tomorrow. So straight away I come to the basic number 6. So basic number 6 is the P wave. Normally it lead to for the vertical activity, of the heart. Here are the dimensions. Dimension is the width, less than 2.5 millimeters, less than 2.5 millimeters. Height, less than 2.5 mm. So I am taking the unit as the same, just so that you can remember these facts easily. So these are the factual questions, fact based questions. So height normally is less than 2.5 and the width is less than 2.5 mm. So the width is determined by left atrial activity, is it okay now? All right. So normally in lead 2, lead 2 is for the vertical activity of the heart. Now focus on the atria. P wave is the atrial depolarization, and these are the dimensions. Dimension, the width of the P wave is less than 2.5. It is less than 2.5 and it is determined by left atria width, while height is less than 2.5 and it is determined by right atria, determined by the right atrial activity. So once again repeating, the width of P wave normally in lead 2 is less than 2.5 mm and it is determined by the left atrial activity, while height is less than 2.5 and this is determined by the right atrial activity. So if there is left atrial enlargement, width will increase. If there is right atrial enlargement, height will increase. So these are the normal P wave in lead 2. Is it okay now? Is it okay? All right. So once again repeating, in lead 2, that is for the vertical activity, the width is less than 2.5. You can see the diagram here, and height is less than 2.5 mm. Height is determined by right atrial activity, and the width is mainly determined by the left atrial activity. Left atrial activity. Is it okay now? Is it okay? All right. So now come to the V1. So V1 lead is for horizontal activity of the heart. Horizontal activity. So the horizontal activity of the heart is from endo to epicardium. Endo to the epicardium. So normally in lead V1, so is still a problem with so it is not okay. So what we'll do, we'll finish here, and we'll start tomorrow the from the P wave basics. So all right, so we'll start tomorrow from 7 p.m. because majority of you are having some problem with the streaming. All right, so any questions from the today's session? So there are lots of questions. So today we can take the questions maybe around 10:30 p.m. So for today we'll finish this session, and in summary, today we have done the mainly the placement of the ECG leads and how the ECG lead is made with the basic principle of the galvanometer. All right. So we'll finish the class here.